The Occulta Philosophia, the 3 books of occult philosophy, is the most influential treatise on Western esotericism of the 16th century. Written by Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa von Nettesheim and first printed in 1533, it unifies ancient magic, Kabbalah, astrology, and theology into one vision of divine science. This monumental work does not promote superstition. Instead, it seeks to recover hidden wisdom that unites philosophy and faith. Agrippa describes occult philosophy as the knowledge of natural, celestial, and divine things, revealed through the harmony of creation. His trilogy explains how the visible world reflects invisible causes, and how the human being serves as the bridge between them. The treatise is divided into 3 parts, each corresponding to a level of reality. The first explores natural magic, the study of nature's hidden forces. The second examines celestial magic, the influence of stars, numbers, and harmony. The third reveals divine or ceremonial magic, centered on angels, sacred names, and the soul's ascent. Together, they form a ladder connecting the elements to heaven. Agrippa presents this system as a Christian philosophy of the cosmos, intended to restore wisdom lost after the fall of humanity. Agrippa begins by affirming that the universe is animated by one divine spirit. Every plant, stone, and animal contains a spark of this spirit. Magic, in its purest form, is understanding these connections. Through observation, the wise learn how qualities correspond: heat to the sun, moisture to the moon, life to the heart. He insists that natural magic is not witchcraft, but the practical side of natural philosophy, the use of hidden virtues placed in things by God. Magnetism, medicine, and alchemy all arise from this knowledge of divine properties. All material things arise from the 4 elements: fire, air, water, and earth. Each element embodies certain qualities, such as heat, cold, moisture, or dryness, and all matter results from their blending. The magician studies these mixtures to restore harmony where it is lost. Healing, divination, and transformation depend upon understanding this balance. Agrippa explains sympathy and antipathy, showing that things sharing similar qualities attract while opposites repel. These laws allow the practitioner to combine herbs, metals, or colors to reinforce specific effects. Through sympathy, one can create talismans or medicines that mirror celestial virtues. He emphasizes moral discipline. The operator must remain pure, for intention directs the virtue of matter. Without faith and restraint, knowledge becomes corruption. At the end of the first section, he introduces number as the key to universal order. Every aspect of creation follows numerical proportion. Arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy are sacred because they reveal the language of God written in the world. Through number, the magician reads the rhythm of divine harmony. In the next part, Agrippa turns to the heavens. The stars and planets act as instruments of divine will, transmitting spiritual energy into the lower world. Their motions regulate seasons, growth, and temperament. The magician observes these cycles to act in accord with them, never against them. Proper timing gives ritual power because it aligns human will with cosmic order. Agrippa warns that planets do not compel virtue or sin. They incline the body and mind, but they never determine the soul's choice. The entire cosmos vibrates like a lyre tuned by God. Each planet emits a tone, forming the music of the spheres. When ritual words and gestures imitate this harmony, they resonate with higher forces. Sound, chant, and rhythm become tools of alignment. Agrippa also describes the making of talismans, images that capture planetary virtue. These images are symbolic vessels for divine light, not instruments of command. To consecrate one, the magician must use proper materials, astrological timing, and prayer. Each metal, stone, and herb carries a celestial signature. Gold belongs to the sun, silver to the moon, iron to Mars, copper to Venus, tin to Jupiter, and lead to Saturn. Every material carries both natural and spiritual meaning. The world is structured mathematically, reflecting sacred geometry and angelic hierarchy. Numbers link the visible to the invisible. 1 signifies unity, 2 division, 3 harmony, and 7 completion. Angels correspond to these numbers and to the planets they govern. Understanding this pattern allows the soul to ascend through contemplation. Agrippa insists that prayer sanctifies all celestial work. Without devotion, astrology is empty. The stars serve divine will. They're like guides, but never replaces grace. True celestial magic praises the Creator through the harmony of his works. In the final section, Agrippa describes the highest level of philosophy: union with the divine through the purified soul. Humanity, made in God's image, reflects all levels of creation. Through prayer, virtue, and meditation, the soul rises through angelic orders toward divine presence. He defines this ascent as the essence of true magic. Every sacred word and ritual act aims to restore the lost likeness between humanity and God. Magic and mysticism become one discipline. Agrippa explains the power of divine names, especially from Hebrew tradition. The sacred letters carry creative vibration. When pronounced with faith, they align the human voice with the word that made the world. Angels transmit this light. The operator calls upon them not to command, but to participate in their harmony. Purity of life, Agrippa insists, is stronger than any ritual. Magic without faith is nothing. Virtue alone grants access to divine intelligence. Fasting, confession, and charity prepare the heart for illumination. The goal is not power, but transformation. All sciences, philosophy, theology, mathematics, and medicine form one body. Every discipline reflects divine wisdom. To understand the cosmos is to read God's handwriting in nature. The true magician, scientist, and saint pursue the same truth through different paths. The Occulta Philosophia influenced every later system of Western magic. Renaissance thinkers such as Giordano Bruno, John Dee, and Athanasius Kircher built upon its cosmology. Modern Hermetic orders, from the Rosicrucians to the Golden Dawn, adopted its correspondences. Agrippa's synthesis shaped occultism, science, and art alike. His emphasis on harmony, proportion, and mathematics influenced architecture and music. Philosophers found in his work a bridge between reason and revelation. Agrippa's final message is humility before divine mystery. Misuse of knowledge leads to ruin. The true philosopher seeks wisdom to glorify God, not to dominate nature. Magic becomes prayer expressed through understanding. The universe is a living temple, and humanity its conscious priest. Every star, herb, and sound participates in the eternal hymn of creation. Knowledge becomes a way of worship. Agrippa places humanity at the center of creation, standing between angels and animals, uniting spirit and matter. Humans can rise through contemplation or fall through ignorance. Man is a microcosm, a smaller version of the universe. The body relates to the elements, the imagination to the stars, and the intellect to the angels. Perfecting each level restores divine likeness. The magician, purified and disciplined, mirrors divine order and participates in creation through knowledge and virtue. Agrippa rejects fatalism. Stars and spirits may influence events, but they never control the will. The soul is free because it is divine in origin. Providence governs all things through harmony, not coercion. Freedom means choosing alignment with divine law. When human will coincides with providence, true power emerges. This freedom demands self-knowledge, for ignorance binds more surely than fate. The entire trilogy describes the soul's ascent from the elements, through the heavens, into divine union. Sense becomes perception, perception becomes understanding, and understanding becomes wisdom. At the summit, the soul experiences illumination beyond words, the beatific vision, the true goal of magic. Agrippa blends ancient philosophy, Jewish mysticism, and Christian theology. He quotes Plato, Aristotle, and Hermes Trismegistus, combining Greek philosophy, Hebrew symbolism, and Christian revelation into one worldview. His language is poetic and allegorical, weaving scripture and science together. Symbols serve as bridges between intellect and spirit. Light represents truth. Sound represents creative power. To read occult philosophy is to practice contemplation through study. The text itself becomes a ritual of learning. The three books shaped Western magic entirely. Bruno used Agrippa's correspondences for his theory of infinite worlds, while John Dee adapted his angelic hierarchy for the Enochian system. 17th century alchemists and Rosicrucians revered Agrippa as a master of hidden wisdom. Enlightenment scholars later studied him as a key to the Renaissance mind. In the 19th century, occult revivalists rediscovered his work. The Golden Dawn treated it as sacred scripture, using its correspondences for astrology, alchemy, and ritual. In the 20th century, Carl Jung echoed Agrippa's sympathy between inner and outer worlds through his theories of archetypes and synchronicity. Historians view Agrippa as both mystic and rational thinker. He anticipated modern science by seeking natural patterns grounded in theology. Though the Church condemned parts of his work, many admired his devotion. He remains a Renaissance humanist who expanded the limits of accepted knowledge. His idea of a living cosmos feels strikingly modern. Nature is sacred because it carries divine breath. When humanity honors this harmony, balance returns to the world. Agrippa believed studying nature reveals divine order. Modern science explores the same structure by different means. Both seek harmony in complexity. Reason and reverence need not oppose each other. Symbols and numbers become ways of perceiving unity, not superstition. Modern psychology also finds value in his inner hierarchy. The elements correspond to emotions, planets to drives, angels to ideals. Transformation occurs when these forces find balance. Ritual becomes symbolic therapy, externalizing inner change. Agrippa's magic can thus be read as a system of self-development. Each invocation becomes meditation on harmony and purpose. After publishing Occult Philosophy, Agrippa faced persecution and poverty. He traveled Europe as a physician and scholar, accused of heresy yet faithful. Later, he wrote on the vanity of sciences, expressing skepticism toward worldly learning. This was not contradiction, but completion. After exploring all wisdom, he saw that intellect remains limited without grace. This humility completes his philosophy. Knowledge must end in awe. The wise magician surrenders control and accepts divine mystery. Agrippa's central message endures. Knowledge is worship. To study the cosmos is to praise its creator. Every science becomes a hymn to divine intelligence. Learning transforms into devotion. The reader becomes participant in creation's harmony. Each discovery becomes thanksgiving. Each insight a prayer. Power without love leads to downfall. The true philosopher seeks wisdom to serve, not to rule. In this balance, power becomes compassion and knowledge becomes mercy. Agrippa's system reconciles strength and humility, teaching mastery of self, obedience to divine law, and reverence for life. Modern seekers still find guidance in his triad of world's physical, mental, and spiritual growth, mirroring his ladder of ascent. Meditation, study, and ethical action repeat this pattern. His approach encourages integration rather than division. By uniting science, art, and faith, humanity rediscovers meaning in an age of fragmentation. The Occulta Philosophia remains the cornerstone of Western esoteric thought. It joins theology, philosophy, and science into one sacred vision. Agrippa guides the reader from natural study to divine contemplation. Its lasting value lies in the balance of reason and revelation. The universe becomes a living temple, and humanity its conscious priest. To read Agrippa is to rediscover the dignity of knowing. To practice his philosophy is to harmonize thought, word, and act with divine order. Ultimately, true magic is love of wisdom, knowledge illuminated by faith. When intellect bows to spirit, creation reveals its hidden light, and the soul shines with eternal harmony. Thank you for listening. The Occulta Philosophia. Please subscribe or follow us at satanworld.com.